Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hammersmith.
Is live from Damascus.
We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Check by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Thank you so much and welcome to Maisha Prime News. My name is Rida Chibet Perin. Right, welcome on board. Thousands of Kenyans on Wednesday arrived at Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County for this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations. The event was led by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his Malawian counterpart Lazarus Chakwera, who was the chief guest at this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations. Antonio Sundwa tells us more.
Karibu! Mheshimiwa Rais!
Thousands of wananchi from all walks of life arrived at Wanguru Stadium in Mwea, Kirinyaga County for this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations on Wednesday 2021, led by President Kenyatta and his Malawian counterpart Lazarus Chakwera, who was the chief guest at these Mashujaa Day's celebrations. Security was beefed up in and out of the stadium as all guests accessing the stadium were thoroughly frisked at different gates. Mashujaa Day is an annual national public holiday marked on 20th October in honor of freedom fighters and all those that contribute to the progress of post-independence Kenya. In strict compliance with COVID-19 containment protocols on social distancing, the number of Kenyans in brand new 10,000 capacity Wanguru Stadium was capped at 3,000 people. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta inspected a colorful guard of honor mounted by a detachment of Kenya Defence Forces KDF comprising of officers from the Kenya Army, Kenya Air Force and the Kenya Navy at Wanguru Stadium in Mwea, Kirinyaga County. This year's Mashujaa Day parade was led by Lieutenant Colonel Nganga from 9KR of the Kenya Army. The head of state, invited guests and dignitaries also witnessed a fly-past by a formation of the Kenya Air Force jets. President Chakwera, who was the chief guest at today's fete, narrated the long historic relations between mounted by a detachment of Kenya Defence Forces KDF, comprising of officers from the Kenya Army and Hastings Kamuzu Banda.
Sana. Tangia wakati wa baba zetu wa nchi zetu, mzee Jomo Kenyatta wa Kenya na mzee Ngwazi Dora Kamuzu Banda wa Malawi. Mheshimiwa Rais kuja kwetu leo kutembelea Kenya ni uthibitisho wa undugu wetu na umoja wetu. Na waombeni wa Kenya na wa Malawi tudumishe umoja wetu, tujenge uchumi wetu wa nchi zetu, tusaidiane kudumisha amani katika nchi zetu na Afrika.
The Malawi head of state said his country looks forward to a future of close cooperation and shared prosperity between Kenya and Malawi.
Baba ya wananchi wa Malawi na kukaribisha Malawi, Mheshimiwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Karibu sana. Mungu awabariki watu wa Kenya wote. Asante sana. Your Excellency, this
Deputy President William Ruto on his part vowed to build on President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and the Big Four agendas.
Your Excellency, we celebrate you as our leader. The last 9 years has seen unprecedented transformation in our country. From the SGR to the almost 11,000 kilometers of new tarmac in Kenya, to the almost 8 million people connected to electricity, to all the transformation in our education sector. Your Excellency, your place in the history of Kenya is not only secure, but it is prominent. Your legacy as a transformational leader in Kenya will set the standard for the leaders that will come after you.
Addressing the nation during national celebrations at Wanguru Stadium, Kirinyaga County, Ruto said that President Uhuru has steered the country to unprecedented transformation since they took over the presidency. The DP also said that he would work together with his political competitors to expand Uhuru's legacy.
Your Excellency, I want to give you our assurance, myself and my competitors here, that we will build on the legacy that you have set, and we will ensure that nothing that you will leave behind is left incomplete. We will build on it and make sure that Kenya goes to the next level.
His statement charged the gathering at the stadium, showering him with claps and cheers as he paved way for the head of state to take the podium. Prior to his speech, the DP and his boss are engaged in a hearty chat. Ruto is seen speaking to Uhuru, who appears to be happily explaining to him something. Odinga, in his Mashujaa Day speech in Kirinyaga, launched into what he became a regular charm offensive in Mount Kenya ahead of a 2022 showdown with the Deputy President William Ruto, who was previously seen as having made a considerable headway in the region.
Who have contributed in one way or the other for the betterment of life of our country. Today we remember heroes like Wayaki Wahinga, who was buried alive by the colonialists. We remember people like Hari Dhuku, who was banished by the colonialists and detained in Kismayu. We also remember those Mao generals, Your Excellency, people like General Madenge, Kang'ethe, Kimathi, Kasam Jogu, Mware Mariama, na Baimungu, just to say a few, who are not madmen to take up arms and go to the bush to fight the mighty British Army. They were truly Kenyan patriots. Neither were the Kapenguria Six, led by Jomo Kenyatta, Fred Kubai, Kungu Karumba, Willard Kagia, Paul Ngei, Achengo Neko. We have here, Your Excellency, two ladies. One, the first woman to become a Chief Justice, Madam Martha Koome. She is a hero and how right she was in trenches with us during the second liberation. You have also here Madam Martha Karua, another hero. And then we have one of the first governors, women governors, Madam Anne Waiguru, governor of this great country of Kirinyaga. But we have also other heroes in the field of music, like Joseph Kamaru, the late, John De Matthew, Gatorora De Samido, who are also great heroes from
Sundwa, Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta has lifted the nationwide dusk to dawn curfew effective immediately. Uhuru made the announcement on Wednesday during the 58th Mashujaa Day celebrations at Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County. The head of state also announced Kenya had vaccinated 5 million adults, noting as well that the rate of COVID-19 has decreased over the last 2 weeks, characterized by a positivity rate of below 5%. Bushebi Jr. reports.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has lifted the dusk to dawn curfew that has been in effect since March last year. The curfew was initially imposed as part of measures to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the country.
And by the authority vested in me as President, I hereby order and direct that the nationwide dusk to dawn curfew that has been in effect from the 27th of March 2020 be and is hereby vacated with immediate effect. Asante sana.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Hamisi, nafanya na vision hapa. Kwa kweli maoni yangu, tunashukuru ndio amefungua, watu wengi wamelia, lakini kwa maoni yangu mimi binafsi naona iko sawa yeye kufungua, bali watu wengi wangechanjwa kwanza. Ngoja kwa amesema watu milioni 10 ingekuwa sawa, kwa sababu bado kuna hatari saa hizi. Watu wasifurahie hata chochote. Watu wanaanza kufa kama kuku. Na hiyo kitu tena utaona by the time utaona watu na okay, jana percent ilikuwa imefika 0.9 ambapo imerudi chini kabisa. Lakini unajaba tena wakati itafika kama 0.7 ama 10 hapo tena itafungwa. Tena Kenya ndio inafungwa. Sasa hata kama venye amefungua hivi nitakana watu bado wajichunge sana. Nitakana watu wajichunge sana. Watu wasifurahi.
He was speaking on Wednesday during the 58th Mashujaa Day celebrations at the Wanguru Stadium in Kirinyaga County.
The committee, jointly with the Council, has recommended a review of the existing containment measures. Accordingly, the number of persons gathering for in-person worship is now reviewed upwards from 1/3 of the congregants to 2/3, provided they adhere to all the health.
Among those who had made a passionate appeal to the president to lift the curfew were the restaurant operators. The Pubs, Entertainment and Restaurants Association of Kenya, PERAC, said the entertainment sector has been sidelined as others benefit from the relaxed COVID-19 containment measures.
Kwa majina naitwa Lavi, nafanya at Swallows Lodge in Bungoma town, opposite Mama Fanta Street. Mimi ningependa kushukuru the government kwa vile wamelift hiyo curfew. At least saizi ita boost business kwa sababu imekuwa kitu affect sana. Tunajua walevi ni wale mtu atataka apige shughuli yake asubuhi alafu jioni akuja tulie mahali mpaka masaa yake, lakini sasa imefanya au customers wa jioni siku hizi hawako, biz imekuwa chini, lakini venye wamelift sasa it's better, at least tutakuwa sawa.
Moments like this that the true character of a nation and a people is revealed. I am proud to say that with the COVID-19 crisis, our state of mind as a government has been one of finding opportunities in every problem occasioned by COVID. Instead of focusing on what is, we have focused on what could be.
He also noted that 5 million adults have been vaccinated so far against COVID-19. He said the surge of coronavirus infections had dropped, but the country isn't yet out of the woods.
And this optimism by government, coupled with a basket of stimulus instruments, is what has thrust our economy into rapid recovery, while the global economy, we all know, contracted by an average of 3.6% last year. We managed to grow our economy by 0.3% over the same period, and this year it is projected to grow by 6%.
On refinancing individual economy, President Uhuru Kenyatta has ordered that Kenyans with loans of less than 5 million shillings will not be listed by the Credit Reference Bureau, commonly known as CRB, for 12 months until the end of September 2022.
Asante sana.
President Kenyatta said those with loans of not more than 5 million shillings and were listed on CRB from October 2020 to date will not have the listing incorporated in their credit report between today and September 2022. For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, Ambushabi Jr.
And still in Mashujaa celebrations, top individuals and little-known Kenyans made to the list of individuals who are honored by President Uhuru Kenyatta on Wednesday, October 20th, during the country's 58th Mashujaa Day celebrations. Sprinting sensation Ferdinand Omanyala, the fastest man on the continent, is among the personalities feted as he continues to fly Kenya's flag high in 100 meters. Omanyala has made it to the list of 220 persons recognized as national heroes and heroines during this year's event in Kirinyaga County. Among other athletes honored include football legend Dennis Oliech and rugby star Humphrey Kayange. Apart from athletes, and entertainers have also been honored. Among those feted include Peterson Githinji, also known as Pitson, a renowned gospel musician, songwriter and performer Chris Adwar, an established pianist, songwriter, performer, music producer, audio engineer and director of Eli Mirasi, popularly known as Dr. Osito Kale, a Maestro Luo Benga musician who has been in the music industry for more than 4 decades. Others include Lynette Akinyi Otieno, famously known as Lynette Aloch Pamba, a renowned Luo Banga musician Madonna Erupe, a gospel artist from Lokichar in Turkana South, among others. Virginia Aoko also became the youngest Kenyan to be feted. She received the coveted recognition after braving the raging crocodile-invested waters of Budalangi during floods to row her pregnant mother to a health center to deliver. Well, and still talking about individuals honored by President Uhuru Kenyatta as Shujas, we met Reverend Kasili, who made it to the list of Shujas in 2019 Mashujaa celebrations held in Mombasa. Reverend Kasili termed all Kenyans as heroes, especially those who have managed to provide for their families during this period of COVID-19. Let's have a look.
So, jina langu ninaitwa Reverend Haman Kasili. Reverend Haman Kasili pia ni shujaa. Nilipewa shujaa na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta 2019 tukiwa kule Mombasa, na ninashukuru sana kwa ajili ya siku ya mashujaa ya siku ya leo. Na watu ni kila mmoja, mimi nasema kwamba sisi tu wenye tumepewa tuso la mashujaa, bali kila mmoja katika Kenya hii ni shujaa. Kwa sababu nasema hivi kwa sababu watu wengi wa Kenya tusichukulie tu ya kwamba wanasiasa peke yao ndio wanaweza kuwa shujaa. Kuna watu katika Kenya wenye wanahitaji kuwa mashujaa ingawa hawajawafikia. Kuna watu wamejaribu especially wakati huu, wakati economy si mzuri sana katika nchi ya Kenya. Kuna watu wana struggle kuleta chakula katika meza ya jamii zao. Hiyo ni jambo la muhimu sana, kwa sababu huyo mtu ni shujaa. Kwa sababu saizi wa vijana hawana kazi, watu hawana fedha, na hata pia mumeona wakati mwingi mafuta imepanda juu sana, maisha yameenda juu zaidi. Na naomba ya kwamba kila mmoja mwenye anaishi katika nchi hii, mimi najua huyo ni shujaa, na najua kwamba hata Uhuru Kenyatta pia jinsi ameendesha mambo ya mashujaa. Nataka kumshukuru sana kwa sababu alianza ku identify watu katika counties ili kuangalia watu wenye wamefanya kazi nzuri, wale wamesaidia wananchi katika counties tofauti tofauti. Amekuwa akichukua wawili watatu, na anahakikisha kwamba amewapa tuzo ya shujaa.
3 victims of a bandit attack in Laikipia have been buried, with calls on the government to intensify security in the troubled region. The 3, Peter Njuguna, Stephen Kariuki and Julius Kiptanui, were killed despite an ongoing operation by the government to smoke out bandits in the respective county.
Watu ni watu sisi ambao tunaishi hapa tunawafahamu. Tunafahamu wazazi. Tunafahamu watoto. Wameenda, watoto wamewachwa bila baba. Mabibi zao wamewachwa bila bwana. For how long shall our children cry and our wives cry? Tunafika mwisho. Matiang'i anakuja all the way from Nairobi. The whole security ya Kenya inakuja Laikipia. Munakuja munaapa that in 7 days there will be peace in Laikipia. In 7 days mauaji yanaongeza maradufu.
This is not about Laikipia. This is about the nation. Kama hamwezi kama viongozi kusponsor motion of adjournment in the National Assembly kuongea about the insecurity na mauaji ambayo yako hii area is a failure in leadership.
Kama serikali iko na seriousness about Laikipia, lazima kila kijiji kipewe bunduki 10 ya police reservice.
Traders at the Gikomba market in Nairobi are counting losses after fire razed down property of unknown value. According to the traders, the fire started at around 10:30 p.m. last night and consumed their second-hand clothes with no intervention from the county fire brigade. The traders are now calling on the county government of Nairobi to compensate them for the loss, and the national government to secure the market from frequent infernos.
Imechomeka na hapa ndio tunakulia, tunalelea watoto, hata tujui tutafanya nini. mizigo tumeenda tumekopa, tunarudi wana mchanga tupu iko hapa. Tunaomba serikali tusaidie. Tafadhali msitufukuze Kikomba.
Hapa ndio tegemeo letu, hapa ndio tumesekea na tutaenda mahali nyingine tuende kuanza biashara zingine. Kile tunaomba serikali ni kwamba serikali yetutetee. Serikali sasa tunajua wako huko na wanaangalia leo ni siku ya masucha. Sasa sisi tujui kama tumeserekea masucha hapa ama nini.
Kikomba nimefanya kazi miaka mingi, lakini hii Kikomba na moto imetupeleka hasara mingi. Kila wakati ni kuchomekewa, kila wakati ni kuchomekewa. Serikali tunauliza, vile mnatuuliza hata nyinyi tumpee kazi. Tukimpea kazi na sisi tukiona mwangaza kama hii ya moto, mnatusaidia.
Wakati tumechomekewa na mwenzetu pia ameagamia kwa hiyo moto. Sasa tunaomba usaidizi kwa serikali kama inaweza kutusaidia. Kwa sababu hadi wamepata watu wengine walikuwa wamechukua maloni wake kazi. Sasa hata hakuna kina mtu wako na kitu sahi. Labda zile 6,000 baba alikuwa anasema anaweza tupatia sahi tujisaidie nazo tu sahi kwa.
Hii sasa ni mara ya 3 imetupata hii mambo ya moto. Na kila tunapochomekewa huwa tunaambiwa tunapatiwa msaada lakini hatufikishi hiyo msaada. Sasa kama saa hizi mimi pia niko na watoto wako shule, nahitaji school fees. Sasa hizo wameenda nitatoa wapi? Sina baka kazi, sina nini, sasa nitafanya nini? Hii corona imetuletea pia shida. Sasa wanatusaidia aje? Hilo nataka kujua pia. Watatusaidia kivipi?
Serikali ifungue nchi kwa sababu mtu kama mimi nilikuwa nafanya kazi kwa kazi ya club na vile walifunga sasa tunaumia sana. Wafungue nchi, kazi tupate kazi zingine.
And crossing borders, a bomb attack on military bus in central Damascus has killed at least 13 people in Syrian state. The vehicle was targeted with 2 explosive devices as it passed under Jir al-Reis bridge shortly after dawn. The Syrian Observatory reported the death toll from the bombing at 14 and said it was likely to rise because many of the wounded were in critical condition. Right, folks, and that comes the end of Maisha Prime News. My name is Ida Kibet, and after this, I'll be coming on Maisha Prime Women Talk. Make sure you don't miss out because they're going to tackle a very interesting topic you don't want to miss.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening. Robert Moore
is live at Barcelona.
is live from Damascus. We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV,
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Kwa shows bab kubwa, ngoma kali, movies, documentaries, series, talk shows na vipindi vya kuchangamsha, kuelimisha na kufahamisha, ni hapa tu Maisha Television.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh my God. Unachukua the best, unatazama na unaipenda. Kwa masuala ya afya, habari kemkem, ukulima, biashara, vipindi vya watoto, hapa ni moto. Maisha TV. Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
Information.
The classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming. Coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Let me tell you what the thing.
No. The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime Talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameweza kuwapa uhuru watoto wao na ndiposa
and local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. A Maisha Television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it.
Hello and thank you so much for joining us. This is Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. I'm your host, Rida Tibet Karin, and remember you can join this conversation. We are live on all our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Maisha Television Kenya, Instagram and Twitter at Maisha TV KE. You can also text in 0746 999 And if you've been following us in our previous shows, actually the past 2 shows, we've been sampling some of the questions from our viewers and some of the challenges that they are going through in their relationships, in their marriages. But today we're going to do something different. Today we're going to talk about a topic, the family, because I've seen that most families are having issues. And today I want us to talk about family. And I'm joined by Irene Bushebi. Karibu sana Irene.
Asante
I'll just give you 1 minute to say something.
Oh, I would want to say hello to all the viewers and tell them I'm Irene Bushebi. I am a teacher of the Bible. I am a pastor's wife and I'm a mother of 4. So thank you.
Yeah, karibu sana. Based on her introduction, you can see that akona familia and she knows what it is to have a family. Anajua zile challenges familia zinapitia. Umesikia she's a mother of 4.
Yeah.
So Irene, today I want us to talk about family. I think we tackled this topic some time back, but I think that based on the questions that we've been tackling, I saw that there is a need to talk about family. And as we start, I will just ask you, what is a family?
A family is a group of people, or we can call it a unit, that has a parent or parents and their children. And so basically that is what a family is. It is a group of people who are together because they have a common goal, you know, and that's why I call it a unit, because it is something that has to be put together with so many things that will make it one. Yeah.
Yeah, and most people don't understand the importance of family. Unasikia wengine wanasema ni lazima nikuwe na familia. Maybe because you have a family, you know the importance of a family. What can you say is the importance of family?
A family is very important because it is what makes a society. Because just imagine if there were no families, what would we be referring to as a society? So a family basically is that also unit that makes different units so that it is a society. So that is basically what we can say a family has an importance in creating a society. And thereafter also we see that a family is something that brings people together. Because the moment I and my husband are together, already we brought in other people who are also connected in the same family, and so they are related even if maybe they don't know each other. So they are related one way or the other. And there's nothing that is as good as when people know that they are bonded together because of a reason. You know, when you're together, it means you can relate well because you know each other well. So the importance of a family is that the family also brings other people on board. And so when these people are brought on board, it is like they are connected and they are one. And when people are feeling that they are the same, then many differences are put aside, because we've seen that out of a family, we've connected even different tribes that people never imagined could connect. So you see, it's still an importance of a family because the family brings together those people who are from different walks of life, maybe different standards of life also, because maybe we could have been having a neighbor that you don't want to associate with. But a time comes when you'll need to associate with this neighbor simply because you've made, or there's one way or the other, your children have come up to be a family. You see, so a family is this unit that connects even different groups of people in terms of family. Different families, tribes, and even standards of life, as I've said. So it brings people together. I can say it's very important. It's very key as a family.
Yeah, and most people that I've met, baadhi ya watu wanasema siku hizi familia is not real.
Yeah.
And people tend to interact more with people outside their family, can say the mother, father, brothers, sisters. Anaamua anasema the stranger yuko even better than the family. What can you say about that?
Yeah, I know that is coming in simply because you've started by saying that families are not real. So you see, an individual doesn't want to be known well with the family because he or she knows that if my family knows me quite well, they'll want me to do things that maybe he or she doesn't want to do, you know. But basically, if we look at that, we see that that is more of a bad thing than a good thing. So if you put it back to what it used to be or what it's supposed to be, then a family is just important as it is. Even if you try to push it away that, you know, it's better to interact with an outsider or a stranger than a family. The reason why you'll find somebody doing that, it's because maybe there are conflicts, there are errors that have been here and there. And so this person looks at it in terms of, you know, I don't want these people to question me much. So those people who don't know me much, I think I can associate with them well because they don't know much about me, and then they'll not question me about things that I'm doing. You see, so you end up finding that this is more of an ill than a good thing in a society. So if you find people wanting to do that, it means there are underlying facts that needs to be dealt with so that we can come back to what it is. So families are still real as they're supposed to be. It's only that when we want to not be real, then we start saying the families are not real. So we are trying to say that, you know what, it's better to interact with strangers than the family. Yeah.
Wow, and for a family to be, I can say, go stable, as in work. Obviously, there are some pillars that makes the family successful. Because you're a family person, what is the major pillar of a family?
The major pillar of a family, I would say, is what puts us together. And when I say what puts us together is what we believe in as a family. Because I know different people believe different things. And what they believe in, you find that that is what brings them together as one. So I would say what we believe in, and when I talk of what we believe in, I know that we believe in different things, but I would say there's one very common thing that we need to believe in, which is the foundation of a family, from where a family started. Because we know there is somewhere where a family started, and that is an institution, we are told, that God himself did put out. And when he did put out this family or this institution, he made sure that what is going to make them be together is when their focus is unto him, because he's the one, he's the initiator, he's the one who has started this. And so anybody wanting their family to stand or to be one must relate to him. And so he becomes the pillar of that family, because he's the one who really knows. Because if you read the Bible, it tells us very clearly that, you know what, the girl will leave the family, the boy will leave the family, and they'll come and be one. Something that is very, you know, it's not very easy, but you know, it comes to pass when these people understand the reason why they've done that, and it is a command that God has given. And so when they understand that, it means the person who has brought them together is God himself, and so he has a reason unto why he's done this, because he knows he's the only person who can make this unit stand as a unit. Because I know when you talk of a unit, it has to be something that has a direction or a goal, and in this goal there is somebody whom they are looking up to give them the instructions, the, you know, the direction and all that they need to make this unit stand as a unit as it is. And so why I'm saying it is the most important pillar of the family is because when you focus unto him, things will always work out for you as a family. And that is where we are going to eradicate the fact that you that issue that you're trying to answer for those people who are asking that, you know, it's better to relate with people outside than the family, because, you know, there are those things that are underlying. They can only, those underlying issues can only be put aside when our focus is unto the Lord.
Wow. And talking about the Lord, they say that a family that prays together stays together.
Yeah.
What is the importance of a prayer in a family?
Just as we've quoted it. If we pray, then it means we'll be together. You know, prayer is communication with God or to God or something like that. And so when we talk about this, it means if we want to communicate to this one person, then there is a way unto which when you communicate to him, yeah, and you get results from him, it means it is the same way me, I'll also communicate to him. So, you know, it's like we have something that is bringing us together, is converging us to one thing. And so that means we have to find a way into which we have to do this thing with some uniformity towards this same person so that we can get the same answers, you know. And when we are doing this, it connects us even more because we would want to consult. You see, for example, when we are given homework when we were at school, that is, and then we have a common answer. And we come back maybe in the morning and then we are trying to consult because we have to read from the same. Maybe I'm copying from you because I didn't do my homework. So you have to tell me how you arrived to that answer. We might know the answer, but you know the method of doing this. You know, so I have to consult with you so that I really understand from you that if the teacher asks us, how did you arrive to this answer because your answers are same, then I'll have the same information as the one you're having. You see, so somehow we have to be related in a way. We have to come together so that we do these as directed to a common goal, you know. So that is what I'm saying. If we are to pray as a family, then there is this essence of us being together so that we can do this thing as one before the Lord, and then we'll get the same answer, you know, that. So the importance of prayer in a family is that it brings us more closer and closer and closer. And so we'll bond much more, that even if an outsider comes, as we were saying, then the outsider, if he wants to get to us, then he has also to join us so that we do the same thing. So this is to say that a family that prays together, it's not very easy to come in between them and then separate them, because there's something that really puts them together that cannot let them separate, you know. I know when I'm saying this, somebody is seated there and telling me, I don't know what you're talking about. And it is because of the same thing that we discussed the other time, that, you know what, people are not being real nowadays. So we like, you know, maybe following other directions, and you know what, and then we come sit together and we cheat each other, or with some deception that we have, that, you know what, we are doing the same thing. But from where you are seated, you know very well that you're not doing the same thing with me, you know. So that is not being real. We are trying to adopt other things, and then we bring together, and then we are seated like that. It's like we are reading from the same page, but no. So that is what brings the difference. But if we would just do it from the simple level that we have to do it as one, and then we put our direction into that goal, then we'll find that everything works for us. That is why prayer is very important to put together a family.
And talking about putting together this thing, you can say this thing, phone. smartphones actually unapata that kwa familia maybe you are sitting room but then kila mtu yuko kwa phone yake so there is no communication in the house. How do you handle that in your family?
So I think we did talk about communication here, and we also realized that communication is also very key. If we want to put our family together, we have to communicate. And as we are even saying, I started by saying that, prayer is, us communicating to God. And if you want to communicate to God, then you have to communicate from one voice. And how will we make this voice be one if we are also not communicating? So you find that communication is also very key. And as you're saying, the phone issue has really brought us to a nil thing, I would say, because at the end of the day, everybody is busy doing their own thing here. And that is why it's very important that we have a family and we have a head of a family. And this head of a family, if he has direction, there are times you'll find that there are families where they've said, if we are coming to the sitting room maybe to have our supper or is it breakfast, kila mtu phone yake ibaki kwa bedroom yake. Ama ziwekwe huko kwa hiyo meza ya simu. Kwa sababu you find that hata tumekuja hapa kukula, and many families, everybody will understand this from where I'm coming from. We joined together most of the time when we were having our lunch or supper or breakfast together. So this is the time when we would talk to each other, because after doing this, everybody is getting back to whatever they were doing. So the only time maybe we would sit together and talk much more is when we were having our lunch or supper or dinner or whatever it is. So you find that this time round, even when we are seated here, hata watu wengine wao wakuli wakashiba, because they are eating as they are doing this. Kwa hivyo ukipata yule baba mzuri ambaye ndio mwenye kichwa cha nyumba, most of the time he'll tell you, everybody, you either switch off your phone or you take it back to your bedroom or you put it up there, watu wakule wamalize kwanza. And so this is to say that, the phone issue, if you're not going to handle it well, because these are some of the things that as the head of the family, you really need to look into them and see that they are not becoming something very good for the family, but they can break us apart. Because this is the time where mtu hata anajua vizuri sana intakana aongeleshwe, pengine amekosea, lakini amejidig deep into his or her phone. Hivyo hata mnajaribu kuongea na yeye, hata anaweza jifanya mtu anampigia simu. Yeah, so these are some of the things that we need to address as a family. And if we are a family that prays together, and that is why we are saying the prayer is also important. Because when we are praying, we are not going to pray with our phones on. So if we want to pray, it means everything has to be put aside. And if you're a family who knows how to do this, you'll find it is easier when even the father will order that, when we are coming to the table, everybody will have to leave their phone uko ama azime simu. Haitakuwa ngumu, because we are used to doing this when we are praying. So you see the importance of a prayer still. It helps us to understand each other, and if something is said, then it will be understood from where this person is coming from, you see. So communication is something very key, but inatolewa katika nafasi yake kwa sababu ya simu. Kwa hivyo jamii yoyote ile ambayo pengine wanatutazama leo, ni vizuri sana ukishaona simu ndio sababu ya pengine nyinyi kuto-communicate well, please can you put it aside so that we can go ahead and be a family. Otherwise tutakuwa a family but we are not a family, because we are not together. Kila mtu wako huko.
Yeah, and the last question before you go for a break, I understand that you are a mother and part of teenagers. How do you because I understand teenagers, because I was once there, kuna ile time utaki hata mambo ya familia, utaki mambo ya mom, dad juu wanakaa nika wanakurekebisha. How do you make them listen to you? Because I know that is a big challenge for most parents out there.
It is a challenge, but I think I also mentioned this here some time back. But whatever you want to make in your family, somebody was just talking about this and was saying that, your child is a plain paper. So whatever you write there is all about you. So this is to say that as your child starts becoming a child in your home, please try to put some things in that child that will carry you on up, even when these children are young men or young women, because you're not going to start it here when they're already in that level. So you have to start it somewhere. So this is why I'm saying that, yes, it is a challenge, and sometimes it boils back to us parents. What did we do when these children were young? Were they listening to us? Or we were those parents ambao mtoto anafanya kinza nitakuchapa, and then you continue doing your own thing. That child learns from there, because watoto psychology yao iko mzuri sana. Wakishajua kile kenye mama anaweza fanya au daddy anaweza fanya, they'll go ahead and get into their cocoons and dump themselves there. Kwa sababu wanajua my mom will tell me I'll beat you and then she continues doing But if they know, mama saa zingine akiinua tu kichwa hivi. My mother, she died a long time ago though. But angeinua tu macho yake hivi unajua amesema nini. So where you are, you have to put everything down and be alert, because the next thing was a good pinch. Na penya amechuna huwa nyama haitakuwa hapo tena. So this is to say, you know what, you have to start communicating to your children as young as they are. I know I'm talking to somebody whom pengine au kuanza mapema ama ulianza and along the line something has just not worked out well for you. What I'm saying, it's not yet late. And again, we talked about it. Don't give up. You're the parent of this child and nobody else is going to do anything on this child apart from you. So whatever hardships you are going through, we've also learned in life that everything good has to be worked out. Kwa hivyo hata huyo mtoto wako amekuwa katika nafasi hiyo kwamba you work it out for that child to be a good child. Najua kwamba it comes to that point. It's good you've also elaborated for us and said there's a time in life where these young men or young women, they don't want to even associate with the family because they know they'll be questioned every other time, ulifanya hii kwa nini, so they'll try to keep off. But that is the time when you need to bring them closer and closer, because hakuna mtu, even those children, you sit them down, talk to them, they know very well that wewe kama mzazi, wewe tu ndio unaweza waongelesha, because hakuna mtu mwingine au watu wengine, they just go to them as subsidiaries, as in people who add on to what they have. So the person who gives them the elementary that they need is you, the parent. So whether they are going astray, keep on pulling them back to you, because if not so, then you'll find that they'll really go away na itakuwa ngumu sana, especially when now they become old, because there's something that we also have to realize as parents, that watoto wakiwa wadogo watakuwa natushika nguo but when they become big people wanakushika kwa moyo wako. So they keep on stamping on your heart every other time. Ukijaribu kukaa hivi mwingine ameleta habari, sijui ule amefanya nini. So you know, it's about you know, within you, what is it that is happening there. Wakati alikuwa mdogo ni nguo utasema acha kunishika, you know, but this time it's right inside you. Kwa hivyo akileta habari inaingia kwa moyo wako. You know that. Na ndio tunapata wazazi wengi sasa hizi sijui pressure, sukari, diabetes nini. Na hizo vitu zote sasa wakileta habari mbaya ndio sasa tuna collapse kabisa. So what can we do? We can start doing something. And wakati wako teenagers, you also understand that this is just a stage. So please, usichoke kumrudisha, because hii stage ikiendelea kuisha atafika mahali anarealize kwani ni nini nilikuwa ninafanya. Kwa hivyo usimwachilie within this time useme mimi mtoto amenishinda. Endelea kushika ule mtoto na kumrudisha kwa position yake. Hata kama it will bring a lot of commotion, yes. Hata neighbors watajua uko penye wanachapanga watoto, yes. Watachapwa na everybody will know about that, but it will help in the long run. So don't stop it.
Wow, thank you so much. And if you're just joining us today, we're talking about a family, and this is Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. I'm your host, Tibet Kering, and we are going for a short commercial break. Don't go far, because when coming back we'll be talking more. Tutakuwa tunaingia ndani zaidi kwa baadhi ya masuala ambayo yanasumbua familia. Jina langu ni Tibet, usiende mbali.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening. Robert Moore
is live at Hammersmith.
is live from Damascus.
We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV,
for Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
Trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative. Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
Information.
The classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming. Coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait.
Let me tell you how the
The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameweza kuwapa uhuru watoto wao
and local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. The Maisha Television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it. If you're a business person, a trader, or anyone who wants to sell something for money, you have to advertise your products and services. Maisha TV is your best and affordable platform to market your business. We have over 50,000 Facebook likes, 1 million viewers watching us. We have daily news, highly visited website, and so if you advertise with us, we simply put your products or services to over 2 million people across all our platforms. Seriously, if you want to make money, you must market your business. Let's do the marketing and you get your money. Call us now, 0746 999 841. That is 0746 999 841. Or write to info@maishatv.co.ke. Just choose it, watch it, and love it. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. Nabongo Teachers Training College is now inviting applications from interested and suitable students for Diploma in Primary Teacher Education, DPTE, for 3 years. Upgrade from P1 to Diploma Primary Teacher Education for 9 months. DTE, Diploma Teacher Education Secondary Option. We are now admitting secondary school students from Form 1 to Form 3 entries. Welcome to Nabongo Teachers Training College. Call now 0704 366 140 0704 366 140 for Nabongo Teachers Training College admission. Call us now 0711 574 423 0711 574 423 Nabongo Teachers Training College, Bungoma.
5 is the number of grace. The Lord esteems us worthy even when we were dead in sin. So when we confess Him as the Lord and Savior, we are brought back to the kingdom. Let us embrace the spirit of sonship. Understanding the perfect will of the Father is that He loves us. Our enemy is the devil. When the devil attacks, counter-attack by running to the Lord. kill. So attack back by going unto the Lord.
All right, welcome back. This is Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. I'm your host, Rita Tibet Kering, and I'm joined by Irene Mumbu-Bushebi, who is a counselor and also a family, I could say a mother, a wife. She's a mother of 4, and today we're talking about a family. And as we start our second part, in this modern society, we've seen that the rate of divorce, separation, family breakage is very high. What can you say is the major cause of this?
As I did mention earlier, is that a family is a unit. And bringing a unit together means we must have a common goal. And our interests also must be pushed in the same direction. And so we find that because we, along the line, maybe when we are starting, you find that we are able to adjust. But it reaches a point when we are used to each other and you are feeling, okay, nimekuvumilia ya kutosha. So can I go back to whom I used to be? And you know, that one now brings us to a point where we cease to be a unit again. And the moment this happens, that's where you start finding that we have a problem with the divorce, separation, and all these things. So the major cause of these things is because people are losing interest in each other. And then when they do this, they find that maybe there's something that is lacking. They're feeling that, you know, I think this person is not as good as I thought they're going to be, because I've been trying to be patient, but I'm seeing that these things are not working out for me. So people start having other, you know, other mentality, let me say, different from what they were focused to. Because, you know, when we're starting a family, we are focused to the point that we are knowing that, you know, we are headed to this direction because we want to make this family be the better family that we wanted it to be. But along the line, we find that we've been patient for so long, so we want something different. And so that wanting something different will not enable you to make a family become a unit as it's supposed to be. So what we need to do is that as when you start feeling like this, know that there's that push for you to start getting to a different direction. But once you've realized that, try to pull back. Because if you're going to let it be, then it means the breakup will be there. So what I'm encouraging us is that this thing of losing interest into each other, it will be there. And so we need to also address it before we even start a family, knowing that kutafika time tumezoeana. Na sana naweza kuambia chochote and I'm not giving a damn, you know. But you know, when we were still new to each other, we were like, hey, kwani siwezi mwambia hivyo. So hiyo issue ya siwezi mwambia hivyo ni kwa sababu you are seeing that we need to pull into that direction. But tunafika mahali unasema mimi nimevumilia sana kutomwambia hivyo. I think it is the right time now to start telling him or her the way I want to tell them or him or her. Yeah, but I would urge all of us that, you know what, if that is the direction we are headed to, please can we head there? And even if there are these things that will try to come in, tunaweza kuziavoid. Kama vile ulijaribu kuiavoid kama mnaanza, unaweza kuavoid bado. Ingawaje ninajua kwamba inafika mahali, it's like it's too much on me. And how is it that I'm going to continue being like this? Maybe I'll not enjoy my marriage. That is what your mind would be telling you. But when you put your feet down and you say, I want to do this, then you'll see yourself going ahead. So I know we've been having a lot of separation, divorce and all that stuff, simply because we start getting into a different direction rather than that one direction, which makes us a unit. So as we are moving as a unit, then it means we have to move with certain disciplines that when we put them aside, then you'll find that tutapata ile breakup inakuja. Yeah. So okay, you are asking what is the major cause of this. I would say it is because we are losing direction. Tumetoka katika ile njia ambayo tulikuwa tunaenda ndani. So that is what makes it to break.
And ukiangalia during zile periods za kitambo kati ya kina mama zetu, grandmothers, the rate hiyo separation haikuwa kama saizi. Ni nini unaona that walikuwa wanafanya hiyo wakati kenye hatufanya saizi?
I would say, vile nimesema, sometimes we feel that I've been so patient with you so much. Yani nimevumilia sana. But you know, then our parents, and basically, I would say, I'm not encouraging this though, but I would say that it was the ladies who would make sure that their family is going to stand. And when you look at it even from the biblical point of view, you find that we are told a wise woman will always make sure that her family will run in the right direction. So this is to say that, you know, then women really did know their responsibility and they took it up for themselves to see that, you know what, this family has to stand. Even if there were so many ills that were going on. And at the end of the day, you find that ule mtu anahangaika, atahangaika tu alafu tena atarudi pale. You see that. But you know, now the problem is we come to a point where we feel, we did talk about women empowerment. I'm empowered. So why are you showing me all this? You know, I can be there and run my life, run my children without you. So you can go ahead and stay there and then I go. But I would still bring us back to line because, you know, we're having that same direction that we have to make this family a unit. And so these differences will come. And when they come, can you maneuver around and see how you can make your family just stay together? Because otherwise, if you're going to say that I'm empowered and I can stand alone, then we are having this rate of, you know, separation and all these things in the rise. You know, and anybody now, the children that are growing up from where we sit today, is that they are feeling that separation and divorce is a normal thing. Unlike then in those times when it was something that was unheard of. And whenever there was a separation or something like a divorce coming in, people would really question, especially the woman, what did you do wrong that did make this happen? So you see, the women had the responsibility of making sure that they make their family come together and have that direction despite everything that is happening. You know, sometimes they would even cover up, which is on the other end we would say is not being real to whoever they're supposed to be, but you know, to some extent it did help them to move in that direction that would make this family stand as it is. So then we would say that there was a lot of patience, yeah, from our families. And again, the society that is consisting of different units of a family also had a responsibility of checking into these families, you know, because your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, and even the family at large, the other extended family, had a responsibility of even coming in and trying to help you so that you make this family be a unit. You see, unlike today, when that would not happen. Kwani nani amesema uingie kwa jamii yangu so that you give us, you know, direction. We know what to do. And at the end of the day, utapata inavunjika tena. So what we are saying is that today, it's like many people don't also listen to other people because they would say, we are ourselves and you let us be. Which is not bad, but if you see that things are getting out of hand, you can get advice from other people whom you feel can help you or whom you've seen wamesimama katika jamii zao. So then I would say that people were really out there, like we would be helped from whoever was ready to help us, and we were also ready to listen to them. So today we would say that many people are not ready to listen to others, telling them what they need to do, even if they are in the wrong direction. Yeah.
Na Joe mentioned too, but maybe someone out there, familia yake kwa hiyo hali ya kwenda kuvunjika, kuseparate, divorce. Is there a way to prevent this?
Yeah, we can. You know, we did talk about it here, about the same again, that I know a family starts from the love that we have between two people. And as we mentioned, is that love is not something that is just easy. You have to make a sacrifice. And so what I'm advising these people is that I know there are things that ukifikiria unasema kweli, huyu mtu anaweza nifanyia hivi. We started so well. Why is it that this person is doing this to me? But can you think of you coming down so that it's like nothing has happened? That is from the point that I've decided to just forgive and see what is next. I know this can save that marriage because when we forgive, it's like we have a relief within us. Na umejua kitu ambacho utupush sana wakati mwingine ni ile uzito tuko nao ndani mwetu. Lakini wakati unatoa ule uzito in terms of, you know, forgiving. And because, you know, if you forgive, for sure, you decide, because forgiving, sitakwambia this is the method of forgiving. Forgiving is just a decision. It's an inner decision that you make. And you say, yes, huyu mtu amenikosea. lakini kuna ile hali ya love, upendo, which will, you know, bring us together in terms of I have to sacrifice so that this love can still exist. So if we are going to look at it in this way or in this direction, we are going to find out that once you've forgiven, that's when your eye will open and see that hata vitu zenye nilikuwa nashikilia kwamba amenikosea, pengine they're not even big things. They are very tiny things. And this is what is making us now be roughed up. Paka tunaona we can let our children, and something I don't like about divorce and is about the children. Because I've once been there and I know that children feel a lot of hurt than even those parents. Because unajua watoto, that thing is like it's rubber stamped within them. And that is why unaona it's even too rampant now in our families, because children that are coming out of a family that there was a divorce or separation, they'll also in the long run separate or divorce because they still have that pain. But if we are going to think about this and then, think about these children and then put it in a position where we can look for reconciliation and bring it back, our children will come alive again. And they'll know also how to forgive when also they are in those marriages. Because otherwise, it is always something like, I can say, a septic wound. It's called that. Ile kidonda kubwa yenye huwa iponi. Because na umejua kidonda ikiwa mahali, anywhere you are passing, hata kama ungepita tu mahali vizuri, utapata kuna kitu kana dunga pale. Yeah, so that's what I'm describing in terms of this separation and, you know, and divorce that is there, because it really affects the children. And that's why you find that it's growing and growing and growing, because even these children that are coming out of a family that was broken, in the long run, they're also going to break, because there's something that did affect them. Na haiku heal. It never healed up. So they're also having that wound within them. And so the same thing will reoccur in their life along the line. So I'm saying, in preventing this, we can calm down. One of us, please. And when I'm talking about one of us, I'm not mentioning the wife or the husband. I'm talking about one of us. Which one of us can be the two of us then baadaye, kwa sababu tunaona if one of us, that is the husband or the wife who is listening to me today, is ready, then we are going to calm down all of us and see that we can, tunaweza wachilia. Kwa nini ni hiyo? What is it that will make us, you know, forget about something that we started that was very beautiful, and then we say that, you know, now I'm not ready for it. That is what you're thinking. But if you give it a little bit more of a try, you can see that it can still work out. So you can come down from whatever level, because I know the people that are having this situation right now, they know that there are those areas, because when you see there is a divorce or separation, the both of us, kuna mtu huwa, kila mtu huwa amechangia. Most of the time we blame each other. That is very normal. But know that from where you are seated, hata wewe ulichangia. Because kama si kuchangia, pengine ule mtu angejiongelesha mpaka sema sasa mimi naongea nini? They come back to themselves. But if also you are contributing in a way, maybe you are just keeping, unajua hata kunyamaza tu wakati mtu anakuongelesha na umenyamaza tu, that's a big contributor, because, you know, somebody would expect you to please just give an answer. And the Bible talks about it. You can give an answer that soothes that person who is now feeling like he's angry and all that stuff. So you can give an answer that can make that person calm down, you know. And women, we know this. It's possible. Ingawaje ninajua wakati mwingine because of the burden that we are having, pengine sisi ndio tumepatiwa lawama kila wakati, sisi ndio tumeletewa ile mzigo, and you're feeling it is enough, and now I don't even have words now to soothe this person. Naweza ongea anything because it is coming from you know, a place where it's full of so much. But please, if you want to bring it back, because it's not just for you. By the way, a family nyinyi mkishaanza mume na mke, ujue hata sasa sio yenu. It's for the children. Because they're going to learn from you. There are things that are going to affect them. You remember the other time I was saying, once you are not good, especially in the bedroom, when you come out, even your children, they are like confused. Yeah, because it affects them one-on-one. You remember, these people are coming from within you, you see? So whatever happens to you, hata kama pengine mtu waambia ama wataona, it affects them because it's from within you. Yeah.
And in our society, there is increased cases of gender-based violence. What can you tell a person, maybe a woman or a man who is in an abusive marriage?
It's always complicated, I know, because it's something that maybe one of them is really suffering, is being abused. But one thing, you know, we have to know is that we can always talk to somebody. Usikufe peke yako. Yeah. And also when we are being talked to, there's people who are also being talked to. Please, wewe pia angalia this person in terms of anahitaji msaada. Because you know, some of us, when we are told about these things, we go ahead now talking to each Tom, Dick and Harry out there. And again, you are not even helping them. Maybe unaambia na unangoja nini hapo? You know, that is not the way to go. You should look for words that would help this person to know how to calm down. And then they can now start focusing from a sober point of view. But basically, something that would help us is when we look at God as our point of focus. I did say this when we were starting, that a family, what holds them together is the presence of God within them. I know I'm talking to people who maybe they don't believe in this, but I would tell you that if you can give it a try, because I know from there, it will be easier for you. Because first of all, what God gives us is peace whenever we are going through difficult times. And I know for those people who have read the Bible, you've seen so many people who are going through very difficult times. And because of the peace of God that was within them, it was easier for them to go through the sufferings that they were going through. So even you who is going through this, I know that it is a really tough time. As you talk to people there so that they can help you, so that you're not alone in this. And again, if you see, there's something that also I don't want to forget to mention here about when this marriage is too abusive. Please, you can stand aside, because we've seen so many cases that started by this abusive marriage. People were fighting every other time, and then it ended into one of them killing the other. So if you see that it is accelerating at a very high speed, then you can always, because there's room for separation sometimes when things are not really working so well. You can be put aside for some time so that those people who know how to help can come in and check out where is this problem. And so with that, they can help you to now come together and come back again, you know, once all these things that were happening have been ironed out. In terms of, you know, maybe professionals, that those are counselors, maybe pastors, or maybe family members who are ready to help you, you know. They can come in and then they can help. So if you see the abuse is too high, you know, the speed is so high, then you can separate. I can advise for that, because I know we've left people to just stay there until they were killed. You know, that is also not right. So if you see it's the level is so high, we can separate a little bit so that we can look into what is the problem. And then we can start ironing out each and every problem that has been there in togetherness, and then we can come back a renewed couple, and then this can work out for us. But please, don't create it in your mind that, you know what, mi ukinisumbua naenda. No, it's not like that. Because, you know, marriage, I would tell people that, you know, marriage, when you get into it, it's something that, it's a covenant. Ni maagano ambayo umefanya. And you know, it's not very easy to just break a covenant like that. When you break a covenant like that, we are always, even in school, we are being taught consequences of breaking a covenant, you know. So there are consequences, and the consequences are always not very good. So when there is that breakage in a marriage, something I think I didn't mention it, I don't remember. Somebody was telling us that, you know, a wedding is like a welding. So when you weld things together, it's like zimeshikamana kabisa. Yeah. So wakati unataka kuziseparate ama kukata, lazima part of this will go with this, part of this will go with this. And that's why you see most of the time, hata kama watu wana separate hivyo, inafika mahali unasikia ni kama ule pengine alishaoa, ule alishaolewa, lakini tena imefika mahali tena wanatafutana mpaka unashindwa kwani kuliendaje huku. Somebody went with another person's part, the other one went with. So you are going to also now again disturb another family that was already started, you know, because of you are not understanding whom you are in the first place. Kwa hivyo mkielewa hivi, ndio tunaweza guarana kabisa, lakini tutafute njia ya kujirejesha. And then as I said, it is a covenant. It's not something that very easily you just break out of it. Hata kama unasema mimi sijafanya harusi, si lazima tufanye harusi. Harusi huwa ni sherehe. But what we usually look into is the consummation of that marriage, you know, which has to be by order of God. That is what I would say. So the consummation of this marriage comes when God has come into you and has joined you people together. And so that is the joining that we're talking about in terms of it is, you know, a welding. But at the end of the day, it is not something that you need to just separate like that, because it is something that God himself did put together. And as the Bible says, let not anybody, hata kama wewe one of the couple, wewe ndio unajaribu kuitoa, ujue wewe you will be answerable to God, because why did you do that? You see, so if you are the cause of you also breaking, know that wewe Mungu atakuuliza kwa nini uli break hiyo marriage, na nilikuwa nimesema mtu yeyote asi break isipokuwa kifo peke yake. Are you seeing that? So this is to say that I know you might be going through this at this time, lakini tunaweza tafuta njia, or if you see it is too much, abuse has gone so high, you can look for a way to just separate and look for people to try and start helping you iron out where the problems have been.
Yeah, and you're a Bible teacher, you're also a pastor. Does the Bible or does Christianity support separation or divorce? Because you see that some people wanakaa kwa hiyo marriage hadi wanauliwa. Is it really necessary na kapo kwa sababu Biblia iruhusu kuachana ama nini?
That's what I've just mentioned, thank you. And I think the Bible is very clear when it says that we can always get a divorce if need be, and especially and only if it is because of infidelity. That is something also to mention. Kama kumekuwa na unfaithfulness in that marriage, God allows for this to happen. And I know also so many things that are bringing us to a point where you find that people wata wanauana ni wakati mtu amejua kuna mpango wa kando mahali, na sasa njia ya kuiuliza na njia ya kuiapproach kuweza kutatua hiyo shida inakuwa ni ngumu sana. So when you see that these things are really escalating, then please there is room for separation so that we don't end up with those results ambazo tumepata of late, watu wanauana katika njia ambayo sio sawa. Kwa hivyo kama kuna jambo ambalo lipo, then it is very good that these two people they can decide and say that, okay, let's go and see people who can help us have a separation, because I would not want a situation where we sit there until there is no more. Hakuna kitu kingine tunaweza fanya isipokuwa ni kuuana sasa. Maana tumejaribu kujiongelesha, mwingine aongei, mwingine afanye nini, mwingine arekebishi. So when it reaches that point where even communication is not there, nobody can help us, nothing can happen, then can we please have to stay just a little bit kando kando na tujaribu kutafuta the solution, you see that, so that we don't end up killing each other. But it's not that the Bible doesn't allow. The Bible, if you read the Bible so well, it talks about the same, and it says that if if there is infidelity, and when it talks about unfaithfulness, unfaithfulness comes in different levels, and so when this comes and it has reached a point where these people cannot be put together again because of that issue, then they need to be given room to separate. Atuta lazimisha mtu kukaa hapo mpaka uawe, especially when it becomes abusive, because we know we can solve it when they are apart. Tunaweza kustart ku iron out, tuwalete pamoja, tuanze kuongea shida iko wapi, and so we can start doing this until utapata wao wenyewe watajirejelea wasema, okay, let's leave this because it's not taking us anywhere. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Irene. I'm seeing that our time is up. Nashukuru sana kwa hayo mawaidha. Anybody who is in an abusive relationship, unaona that maybe it's going to lead to something that is not reversible, kama kuuliwa ama kuoa. And pia men, by the way, wanaume wanaua wanawake sana. Unapata ana realize that maybe you are cheating, you are unfaithful, and jaribu ku confront, na solution unapata ni kumuua. I don't think that is right. There is another way of solving issues. Kuna mediators, unaenda church pale, upata watu kama kina Irene. She's a counselor, by the way. Anaweza akawa advice on the way forward. Thank you so much for keeping it here throughout this program. My name is Ilda Chebet Kering, and this is Maisha Prime Women Talk, where real women engage. See you next time.
Maisha TV, the Kenyan channel pushing information to Kenyan viewers through digital television platforms.
Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television
News.
Thank you for choosing Maisha Television for this broadcast.
information.
The classes were in a poor condition.
Cultural programming coming to you through all major broadcasting platforms. Special in-depth coverage from around Kenya. Exclusive reporting from all across Kenya and the continent. Maisha TV presents high-class programming, engaging talk shows from our studios and outside broadcasting on a wide range of issues with trending perspectives.
I'm really asking our guys who are behind the camera to look for that clip and then play that clip.
Telling Kenyan stories you won't hear elsewhere.
The most wicked sight in my life is to see his tongue hanging almost up to here.
Tangu corona ianze mwezi wa 3 tumekuwa na changamoto mingi.
Watching stimulating debates on a hot seat.
I guess. Wait, I don't know. Wait. Let me tell you about the sentiment. No.
The latest happenings from around you on Maisha Prime. The Prime Talk shows connects us with realities of life. Hivi sasa, looking at your everyday life.
Wazazi wameweza kuwapa uhuru watoto wao na ndiposa
and local business, finance and investment.
Some levels of smuggling of sugar.
Maisha TV digital platform engages users everywhere through multimedia approach technology. A Maisha television digital platform, your local and continental channel platform where you choose it, watch it and love it.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is live at Hammersmith.
Is live from Damascus. We're on the doorstep.
For Maisha TV,
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
For Maisha Prime News, Maisha Television.
trusted news, trusted sources, trusted dissemination of information.
Protect by all available means our territory.
Parliament must be careful.
Maisha Prime News, Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. Trusted, unbiased, authoritative.
Mambo. Mama.
Chuki, huyo ni nani?
Hakuna.
Mambo. Mama yuko?
Chuki, huyo ni nani?
Mtoto amekuja.
Kwa vyakula vyenye ladha tamu, tumia unga halisi wa 210.
So, nitakuona tena lini? I mean, nitaleta 210 zingine lini?
Anytime. Yes. Yes.
210. Tamu.
Kwa shows bab kubwa, ngoma kali, movies, documentaries, series, talk shows na vipindi vya kuchangamsha, kuelimisha na kufahamisha, ni hapa tu Maisha Television.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Oh my God.
Unachukua the best, unatazama na unaipenda. Kwa masuala ya afya, habari kemkem, ukulima, biashara, vipindi vya watoto, hapa ni moto. Maisha TV.